make our three-dimensional slice of pie drawing today, you'll begin by writing your name on your paper. Make sure you write it in the corner in case you need to use this side as a second try, and then your teacher code, and flip it over. We're gonna begin in the center of our paper, and we're gonna begin with the length of our pie. So I'm going to draw a slight diagonal line on my page in the middle of my paper. So not too low, not too high. I'm gonna start about right here, and I'm gonna end about right there. So if you wanna make some little dots as markers, you can do that. Okay. Then I'm gonna make a vertical line. Okay, a vertical line is straight up and down. It's not at an angle. Okay, this is gonna represent the thickness of the pie. And again, on this side, it's going to go straight up and down. Okay, and then I'm going to connect these two lines with another line, and this line is going to be parallel. Okay, so these two lines should be going in the same direction. And as you can see, I'm drawing fairly light just in case I make a mistake and need to erase. Okay, so this is the side of the pie. Now we're gonna be making the top part of the pie. And I'm gonna begin on this corner of my shape. And I'm gonna be making an acute angle. An acute angle is a small, skinny angle. And it's going to be a line that comes up to about there. And I don't want to go too far because then it won't look correct when I add the line for the crust. So I've got an acute angle, and then from this line I'm going to draw a little bit of a curve for the back part of the pie. So here we have an obtuse angle. All right, now let's make the crust on our pie. So I'm gonna come back up here to the top part of my piece, and I'm gonna make some kind of curvy edge. And then I'm gonna come down to this area, and I'm gonna make a straight parallel line. That's the edge of the crust. And then there's some crust on the bottom of the pie. So I'm gonna make another thin line. It's parallel to that line. And then end it right there. Now let's create a little plate for my slice of pie. So I'm gonna start somewhere back here on my crust, and I can draw lightly just in case I need to adjust the shape. It might be slightly oval or it might be more circular. And I'm gonna come around. And then I kinda wanna end where it would end. There we go. Little plate that we'll add some detail to. And then we'll wanna add the edge of the table. So the table needs to be above the plate. So I'm gonna make a line right there for the edge of the table. We could also add some whipped cream to the top of our pie. So if you want to do some whipped cream, I'm gonna do some little curves, something like that. You could add some filling. Maybe if it's a cherry pie, you could add some cherries inside. If it's a key lime pie, maybe you want to add a slice of lime. Now we're gonna create more depth on our plate. So instead of it just being a white circle, we can make it look more three-dimensional. So plates have that edge to them. So we're gonna create a little space. And I like to kind of turn my paper so that it's easy for me to keep my pencil in the right space. And I can take my finger and kind of rub my pencil to give it a little bit of a smooth, smudged edge. We're also going to add a shadow next to the pie. So behind my slice of pie, I am going to make a little shaded shadow. And when I shade, I want my pencil lines to be really close together so that you cannot see any white spots through it. We'll also have a little bit of a shadow on the bottom edge here. So I'm gonna make a little shadow. Keeping my pencil lines really tight and close together. And then using my finger once again to do a little bit of smudging. Okay, and then the last shadow will be on the edge of the plate. So I'm gonna make this edge a little bit darker. And I'm gonna make a little shaded edge around that is the shadow on the table from the plate. I won't really see it in the back. It'll only be on that front side. Again, using my finger and smudging my shadow. If I accidentally get a little bit of shadow on my plate, I can take an eraser and make that edge a little bit brighter by erasing away some of those smudges that got on the edge of the plate. Same on my pie if I need to erase parts that got a little bit smudged on my pie. So now that we're finished, we can think about final details. So maybe you want to have a fork. Maybe there's a napkin underneath the plate. I'm gonna add a little napkin, kind of tucked underneath. And maybe this napkin has some kind of fun pattern on it. Maybe I'm gonna do a little dessert fork. Maybe even my fork has a little shadow next to it. Now you get to add color to your pie and to your tablecloth. So we're gonna be leaving the plate white with the shadows, and then the other parts of the artwork you can add a pattern. So I'm gonna keep my table simple, and I'm gonna keep part of the tablecloth white, and then I'm gonna create just a simple line design. So when you're creating a line, make sure that you are hopping over your items that you've drawn. Okay, I don't really want to spend my time coloring in this whole table, so I'm gonna do kind of a fun pattern. Notice that when I added color to my pie, one side of my pie will be darker because it's on the side and there's a shadow, and the top part will be a little bit lighter because the light is hitting it. Also, don't be afraid to try mixing some colors together. So I've done some color mixing with my browns just to give it a little bit more depth. And we're doing our very best coloring so that you should not see any white space. I'm gonna add another little layer to this. And then I'll add some color to my napkin, and then my work will be complete.